Tonight at 6, how Kent State is inspiring female entrepreneurs ahead of International Women's Day. Our very own Alexis Davis is in studio with more.
USG came together to make a joint decision. Coming up later tonight, we're going to tell you all about the behind-the-scenes information about what they said.
The controlled burn of toxic chemicals after the Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine is in question. The latest from environmental officials.
And stay tuned. Later tonight, we'll fill you in on what to expect from President Biden's last State of the Union address before the election. All this and more as TV2 News starts right now.
This is TV2 News.
Hello, and thank you for choosing to spend your evening with TV2. My name is Sydney Brown.
And my name is Noah Rowe.
We start tonight with a look at the conference held for women leading the way in the world of business.
It was one of the latest events during Women's History Month celebrating female success. Our very own Lex Davis was there, and she has the story. Lex?
International Women's Day celebrations started a bit early for prospective female entrepreneurs. I attended the Spirit of Women in Business conference earlier today.
Women are supporting women. Female entrepreneurs come together at the Spirit of Women in Business conference.
Women typically are underrepresented in the leadership of companies, and so we feel like with tomorrow being International Women's Day, it's important to host an event that really supports women in business and their efforts to learn more about how to be successful in moving up in organizations.
There are currently over 13 million women-owned businesses in the U.S. according to Women Business Enterprise National Council. And just before International Women's Day, the Ambassador Crawford College of Business and Entrepreneurship started the Females in Business conversation.
This has been our tradition for a number of years, and typically we do a book signing with the author, and that's the keynote speaker. And then we do breakout sessions with other speakers who focus on different aspects of having a successful career for anyone, man or woman. But it benefits anyone who attends.
A full day of events were open to students, faculty, and staff focused on artificial intelligence, human resources, and discussion of the entrepreneurial journey.
Holding a conference like this is so important because it showcases wonderful opportunities that women in business can have, but it also connects women with each other, which is the best form of networking. Women supporting women is so valuable in no matter what business or service you're in.
Preparing women for future opportunities, the keynote speaker presented a people-first work culture conversation.
I think it's really important, we have.
Tomorrow, March 8th, celebrates women's history and the women's rights movement. For International Women's Day, reporting from TV2 News, I'm Alexis Davis.
We now move to a student campaign for higher wages on campus.
Our very own Tyler Schlosser is in the studio, and he's going to share how student groups are advocating for a higher minimum wage in Kent, Ohio.
That's right, you guys. Today I sat down with the heads of both our undergraduate student government and the United Students Against Sweatshops about the resolution of support from the USG to the USAS. And here's what I found out.
Students are calling for better wages on campus. Kent State's undergraduate student government voted last night to support the United Students Against Sweatshops chapter in their efforts to raise the pay of wage-based positions.
So I invited Christian Heller, the president of Students for a Democratic Society, in for a meeting to discuss it, and he gave me this pamphlet with all the information on what they were working on. We had a long discussion about what they were trying to do, and I really supported the work they were doing.
The USAS shared their excitement to work with the USG on their negotiations with university administration.
We want to work with USG as much as we can. We think that they are important advocates for students on campus, and we're very happy to see them endorse our wage campaign.
The USG believes that increasing student wages for on-campus jobs is paramount to students' quality of life on campus, especially for those who are unable to seek out positions elsewhere. Current wage campus jobs range just above of the Ohio minimum wage at around $11 an hour. However, according to the MIT Living Wage Calculator, the living wage in Kent, Ohio is $15.29, almost a $5 difference.
I think a lot of students are united on the idea of a student worker wage increase. I've seen a lot of support for USAS's campaign to support a student worker wage increase. I think that students today overwhelmingly support an increase to the national minimum wage as well.
This has been a large step in the right direction for the United Students Against Sweatshops here at Kent State. Moving forward, they intend to build their reputation amongst students and use that to negotiate better wages and a better quality of life for Kent students now and in every year to come.
We're trying to build this coalition to really plan demonstrations on the K and to do these bigger, flashy actions that the university can see.
Right now, the USAS is trying to increase visibility on campus. They are hoping to collect more student responses through surveys, recruiting drives, and other outreach programs.
I'll be keeping an eye out for the USAS in the future to see how they fare in their mission. But that's all I have for tonight. And now I'm going to toss you over to a weather forecast.
Good evening, Portage County. If you were expecting Josh Aponte, you were mistaken. But he will make an appearance later on in the show. So for now, let's get down to business and talk about some weather. Currently in Kent, it is 50 degrees, but it feels like 49 degrees. Same thing. Dew point is 37 degrees. The visibility is 10 miles. Humidity 69%. Let's take a look there we go. We got it figured out. Let's take a look at Northeast Ohio temperatures. Right now in Cleveland, it is taking the lead in the heat, 45 degrees in this vicinity of Northeast Ohio. We go down here. Right now in Kent, it is 50 degrees. Take a view lower in the Northeast Ohio area. We have 51 degrees in Worcester, 51 degrees in Canton, and over here in Youngstown, 53 degrees. Nice. All right, let's look at our across the there. We'll get it next block, folks. All right, Steubenville, 54 degrees. Same with Cincinnati down here. And in Dayton, we have 52 degrees, matching with Columbus. I know they're warm. Shout out to my people in Columbus. Up here in Akron, we have 51 degrees. And in Lima, 48 degrees. Just a little cold, just a little chilly. But in Athens, 54 degrees. That's pretty nice. Well, that's all the weather I have for you right now, but stay tuned for an hourly and 7-day forecast coming up. Now back to my lovely anchors at the news desk.
Thank you, Lex. On Capitol Hill today, the chair of the National Transportation Safety Board testified at a Senate hearing.
Yeah, Jennifer Homendy's testimony was focused on the Norfolk Southern train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio that happened last February.
During questioning, Homendy agreed with the senator's assertion that the controlled burn of the 5 railroad tank cars full of vinyl chloride was the wrong decision.
Rightfully, Norfolk Southern's contractors said ruled out hot tapping and transloading because it would have been a potential safety issue for their employees. But there was another option. Let it cool down. It was cooling down.
The East Palestine train derailment sent over 1 million pounds of hazardous chemicals into the soil, water, as well as the air. The officials on the ground who authorized the controlled burn after the accident were told they had only minutes to make that decision before an explosion.
Today, state and federal environmental officials say the testing shows the town's air and water are safe. Some residents still complain of health symptoms. A verdict has been reached on the Alec Baldwin armorer case. What the jury said and how both sides are reacting to this verdict.
A compelling case to the country, and he thinks he has a good story to tell.
The address is just a couple of hours away. What are the topics President Biden will talk about, and what Senate leaders think ahead of the event?
OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. No, he's a fake. Oh.
I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. You're smart. Buy smart.
Did you know that 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Go to theshelterpetproject.org and search your local shelters and rescues. Go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is TV2 News, truly Portage County.
Welcome back. Tonight, President Biden will address the country in the annual State of the Union address.
Historically, the State of the Union is one of the biggest chances that the president has to share their message to the country. Joe Malbin's here to give us that full story. Joe?
Hi guys, that's right. The State of the Union address is a high-stakes moment for President Joe Biden as he has to convince voters to give him a second chance in the White House. This is an agenda that can become a part of the campaign trail. One of the main topics is the protection of the Affordable Care Act to expand efforts to relieve student debt and housing costs. The president is also expected to call on both Democrats and Republicans to take action on issues they should be able to agree on, such as fentanyl crisis and veterans assistance. Senate leaders expressed their opinions ahead of the State of the Union address.
Today, President Biden will make clear that after so much adversity, America's economy is growing, inflation is slowing, and Democrats' agenda is delivering.
He inherited everything he needed to point our nation toward further security and prosperity. But he chose weakness and invited danger instead.
Also, Senate Minority Leader and House Speaker Mike Johnson announced who will deliver the response next week. Senator Katie Britt of Alabama will be the one delivering the response to the State of the Union address. Britt made history when she was sworn into office last year as the first elected female senator of Alabama and the youngest Republican woman ever elected to the Senate. In a statement, Senator Britt says she is honored and grateful for the opportunity to, quote, have a candid conversation about the future of our nation. The State of the Union address will start at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and President Biden is expected to talk for a little bit over an hour. Well, Portage County, it has been great to see you. For TV2 News, I've been Joe Malbin.
Thank you, Joe. During tonight's State of the Union address, the president is expected to announce increased aid for the people in Gaza. A senior administration official says the White House will direct the U.S. military to establish a port in the Mediterranean Sea where large ships can provide food, water, medicine, and shelter to those suffering in the war-torn nation. Another official says the U.S. is coordinating the assistance port with Israel, the United Nations, and other groups. No word yet on when the port will open.
For generations, Sweden has held a strict stance of neutrality when it comes to foreign affairs. That changed today. The Nordic country was the latest to officially join NATO. Hungary was the last NATO member to approve Sweden's bid to join, and that makes Sweden the 32nd member of NATO. Finland became NATO's 31st member just last year. Both countries announced their intention to join the alliance in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Last month was the planet's hottest February on record and marks the 9th month in a row that global records fell. According to the new data from Copernicus, February was 1.77 degrees Celsius warmer than average February temperatures in the first half, labeled exceptionally high.
It also caps off the hottest 12-month period in recorded history at 1.56 Celsius degrees. The director of the Copernicus service said the fault of temperature records isn't surprising given the continuous warming of the climate system.
But now our TV2 weather anchor, Lex Brady, is joining us at the desk. Lex, now these hot temperatures, are we going to be seeing some snow though for this March?
It is a possibility given that we are in Ohio and the weather is a little hectic, but I'm here to tell you more about it. All right, let's start with that hourly forecast again. We have at 6 p.m. 50 degrees, dropping down to 44 degrees around 10 p.m. and at midnight 43 degrees. There we go. All right. So for our 7-day forecast, let's take a look. Friday, we're going to have some light rain in the evening, but a high of 63 degrees. That's fine with me. On Saturday, it's going to be a little chillier, a little bit more rainy and windy, 53 degrees. Sunday, well, Sydney Brown, that answers your question. We are, in fact, going to see some snow in Ohio. Predictable in an unpredictable way. On Monday, it's 45 degrees, partly cloudy, high of 63 degrees on Tuesday with mostly sunny weather. So if you want to get out, cure some of that seasonal depression, I highly recommend this is the day to do it. On Wednesday, we're going to still be at 63 degrees. It's going to be partly cloudy. And on Thursday, it'll be partly cloudy again with a high of 66 degrees. Well, that is unfortunately all the weather I have for you tonight, Portage County. Make sure to stay safe this weekend for Fake Patty's Day weekend. And more importantly, stay dry. For TV2 News, this is Lex Brady.
Thank you, Lex. Years after the fatal shooting on the set of Rust, a jury has convicted the armorer of involuntary manslaughter. While her attorneys plan on appealing, jurors stand by the decision to convict.
Someone died. I mean, you got to take responsibility, especially when you're handling weapons and you're in charge of those.
We plan to appeal. We believe we've got a number of issues that we will be asserting. We obviously respect the jury's decision, but we have a lot of work to do, and we will be doing on this appeal.
If you recall, that was the shooting that killed cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Actor Alec Baldwin was holding the gun, and Gutierrez Reed was responsible for the safety. It was not supposed to be loaded with live ammunition. She could get sentenced up to 18 months in prison for the conviction. Prosecutors also charged her with tampering with evidence for transferring a bag of cocaine to someone else after police interviewed her. The jury found her not guilty of that crime.
TikTok's time in the U.S. may be ticking away. Today, a House committee is planning to vote on a bill that could
ban the China-linked social media platform from all U.S. devices like phones and tablets. The bill has bipartisan support, and if passed, it would make it illegal for TikTok to be available for download in the App Store. TikTok is urging its users to oppose the legislation, and then some people have seen screen pop-ups today that said, quote, the bill would damage millions of businesses and deny artists and audience.
With Jason Kelce announcing his retirement from the NFL, now you have the opportunity to get a can with his face on it. We'll tell you all about it coming up.
The Cleveland Cavaliers travel to Atlanta to take on the Hawks. I'll tell you if they could pull off a win with Donovan Mitchell still out of the lineup.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Considering an online pharmacy? Explore BeSafeRx to find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
What's up, everyone? I'm Josh Aponte, and we have lots of news in sports, so let's get started off with the Kent State women's basketball team. So the Golden Flashes hosted Ball State for their last home game of the season. A fourth quarter rally fell short as they lost to a final score of 71-75. Kent State was led by senior guard Katie Shoemate with 16 points and 9 rebounds. The Flashes will play their last regular season game at Toledo on Saturday, with the MAC tournament fastly approaching. Tip-off will be at 2 p.m., and you can catch the action on ESPN+. And here's what head coach Todd Starkey had to say after the loss.
I mean, the first thing I want to say is I'm really proud of our team. We had opportunities to, they got up by 12, 14, somewhere in there. And, you know, that was a critical moment in the game. It could have gotten away from us. I thought our team did a really good job of handling their pressure throughout the game.
From the court to the field, the Kent State lacrosse team hosted Longview today, and here is the final score. Kent State won to a whopping score of 13-12, a very high-scoring matchup against Longwood, and Kent State was able to pull out that win by one score, 13-12 at Dix Stadium. And next up, the Flashes will face Bucknell on Saturday at 1 p.m. at Dix Stadium. But hey, let's go over. The Cleveland Cavaliers played the Atlanta Hawks last night, and as Travis Scott said, well, they're going to take it down in Atlanta. And guess who else took it down in Atlanta? Jared Allen. He finished with a team high of 18 points and 19 rebounds. What a double-double for Jared Allen. The Cavs found themselves down early in this game, but they tried coming back in the third quarter. They scored a total of 40 points in that quarter. There's Jared Allen with 3 of them right there with that and 1 bucket. But the Atlanta Hawks would not back down. That was DeJounte Murray, and he found Bruno Fernando under the basket. The Hawks would not go away. There's Bogdan Bogdanovic with a clutch three-pointer to seal the deal, and the Hawks would win to a final score of 112-102. And here's some interesting news. Jake Paul is set to fight former heavyweight champion Mike Tyson. Paul is actually from Lakeview, Ohio, so that's pretty fun. But they're going to face each other in a boxing match that will be live streamed on Netflix. The event is set for July 20th at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. It will be available to all Netflix subscribers. And speaking of Logan Paul just a little bit earlier, he is set to face Randy Orton here in Cleveland for the WWE SummerSlam. So that's a little fun trivia for you. So make sure to check that out. But that is all the time I have for right now. Make sure to follow us on all social media at TV2KSU Sports. For TV2 Sports, I've been Josh Aponte. You've been you. We'll see you next time on TV2. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Josh. Barbie's birthday is on Saturday, and Mattel is releasing a new set of dolls. Who are they inspired by, and what is the goal behind them?
What if you could make an impact? Be the change. Create a legacy. What if you could do it all? Join an organization 96 years in the making and gain experience in a professional work environment with industry-level resources.
Getting started right away as a first-year student allowed me to gain real experience, gain the best of friends, and I got an internship with the Today Show where I got to live in New York.
Showcase and develop your talents as a writer, editor, photographer, fashion editor, filmmaker, journalist, operator, designer. If you can dream it, we can do it. Student media makes an impact on our community, on our students, and on the world. Together we share our voices. Together we leave our mark. Together we are Kent State Student Media.
Finding life beyond Earth is no longer a dream. It's a discovery that will likely be made during our lifetime, and it will change everything. We are home to over 100 explorer scientists. Our purpose is singular: to understand the origins and prevalence of life and intelligence in the universe, so that we might lay the framework for humanity's next steps to the stars. We are the SETI Institute.
Welcome back. Mattel is releasing 8 new dolls to kick off the 65th anniversary of Barbie. In honor of International Women's Day, these dolls are based on women who inspire girls through storytelling and encourage them to be brave, confident, and daring. They include actors like Viola Davis and Helen Mirren, and superstars like Shania Twain and Kylie Minogue. These role models dolls will not be hitting the shelves, but are to celebrate influential women.
And if you need more Jason Kelce in your life, Campbell's Chunky has the answer. The soup company is giving away cans featuring the retiring Philadelphia Eagle. The first ever Legend Edition can has Kelce's likeness and autograph. Campbell's Chunky is giving away 620 cans. That's a nod to Kelce's number, which happens to be 62. The company is also donating $62,000 to his charity, Be Philly, which helps improve lives of students in the Philadelphia public school system. The giveaway is open until March 28th.
That is so awesome. I think there's nothing better than, just a cup of chicken noodle soup.
A little bit of soup, a little bit of Barbie, some Jason Kelce in the mix. I mean, you can't complain.
It's just everyone's happy tonight, I think.
Soup, Barbie fans, you're good.
Yes. Are you a fan of the Barbie movie?
Yeah, it was pretty mid, but I can't complain.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.
For updates on all these stories and more, follow us on all social media at Kent Wired and visit our website, kentwired.com. Tune in at 9 for a new episode of Grab Bag. I'm Noah Rowe.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Have a great night, Portage County.
This is Portage County's TV2, broadcasting from the campus of Kent State University. Streaming online
Explore
at
BeSafeRx to
kentwired.com.
find useful information and resources to help you purchase medicines safely online. A safe online pharmacy requires a doctor's prescription, has an address in the United States, has a licensed pharmacist, and is licensed by a state pharmacy board. It's best to stay away from online pharmacies that don't meet these criteria. Discover more helpful tips and resources at BeSafeRx. Go to fda.gov/BeSafeRx.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes twice a day. They have the time.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth.